So I want to do this video on manifestation, and obviously the idea of manifestation is that the believing in our thoughts is ultimately what will come our way, and we can then manifest this into our life. Now, before I start, it's important to know that what you have actually got in your life now has been conjured up by your thoughts and by your actions that you've been doing. However, you've been doing them unconsciously up until this point, and I kind of want to give you the idea and scope to understand how you've done that, because then once you realise that you've actually manifested everything in your life as it is, you can then also apply that same principle that you've done accidentally to get you all the things and be in the situation that you possibly don't want to be in. You can use that same principle to then put you in the position to go forward and get you into the position that you do want to be in. You have to always remember that you have been conditioned. So all of your thoughts that have come up into your head about what you want in life and what you think you want in life, those thoughts are based on other people's logic, what they have taught you. So the schooling system, parents, influences through teachers, music, actors, authors, whatever it might be. So those thoughts that have come up have not been coming from your true essence for a start. Once we realise that, we can then understand and give ourselves a bit of a break for the situation that we might currently be in if it's one that we're not happy with. The other part of that I want you to be aware of is how that you've manifested everything into your life. It's because if you think back to something that you might have really wanted, it might be a car that you've bought or a relationship you've got in, a house that you've purchased, whatever it was. You've purchased that, or you've got in that relationship, again, based off of all the logic that you've been taught. And why that's important to understand that all the logic you've been taught is because the logic that you've been taught will influence the way that you see the world and what you think you need to have in your world and your life in order to be happy. But because you don't know your true essence, it's never going to actually pan out for you. It might be acceptable, but it's never going to make you feel completely content inside. But getting back to the point that I wanted to make out, that when you make the purchase or when you get involved with someone in a relationship, or it could be anything in life that you're doing, I want you to try and remember how you actually felt when you was trying to do something. So in fact, let me give you this example because it might make it a bit easier. Let's say you've always said to yourself that you'd like £1 million. And so you think manifesting that would just come down to, if I keep thinking about £1 million, I will get that £1 million. But whilst you're doing that, underneath that thought, when you're saying to yourself, I would really like £1 million, I so badly want £1 million, I think about it all day long, it's all I really want to do. So why does this never happen for me? In the tone of voice that you're using there, although you're saying you would like £1 million, underneath it is another voice that's coming from your mind, is another feeling, is another, you have another perception that says, this is never going to happen to me though. I'm going to say that again because sometimes I tried to explain this to someone yesterday, which is why I'm doing the topic today, and they couldn't get it at first, but then they did. When whatever was saying, so let's say we want a Ferrari. I really want to get a Ferrari. I'd love to have that Ferrari. It's almost said in this way that underneath that is a voice that says, but it's not going to happen to me. There's a self-doubt there in all of us. And if you think of a moment when you've really wanted something, or even when you've gone ahead and got something, there was always this feeling, very, very, very faint feeling, voice, thought, whatever it was, that was underneath whatever it was that you was doing, that was either saying, don't do it, you know better, or these sort of things don't really happen to me. And that's how, it's that little voice under there that you are manifesting, because that's the reality of what you are actually feeling. So what we're saying and what we're believing are two different things, and you will manifest what you believe in. And that's the importance of this video. And so how you can actually go about manifesting properly into your life the things that you would like. First of all, you have to understand that when you try to manifest something, you have to have that ultimate belief in something. And to have the ultimate belief in something, you have to know what it is that you truly want and not what your logic mind wants, not what the mind that's been taught wants. So you have to, there's only one way to do this. You have to get to know yourself, your inner work. And to get to know yourself and do your inner work, that means removing the layers that have been installed on top of you through generational beliefs, traditional beliefs, which are always ridiculous, and schooling beliefs, the education system that either tells us that if we get a D grade, we're a failure as a human being, or an A grade, we're going to go on to be extremely successful, both of which are lies and utter nonsense. You won't be. You will be successful when you put the best of you back into you and stop giving the best of you to other people in the world and trying to tick the boxes of what society wants you to tick. To uncover those layers in you, you need to develop a good spiritual practice, which I've gone before in other videos about eating wholesome foods, drinking plenty of water, plenty of time alone, learning to meditate to yourself, and keeping away from the things in life that you're distracting from. So when uncomfortable thoughts and feelings come up, sit with them. Do nothing. Don't even pick your nails. Sit with them for 20 minutes. And that there will start growing your self-confidence in yourself to self-heal. Once you start this process moving, guys, this really does start taking the layers off yourself. And if I sound a little bit passionate this morning, it's because it was really hard, the conversation I had with someone yesterday, who's one of my closest friends and is absolutely suffering about something. But yet, what they're suffering about is something so irrelevant because they're chasing this thing that they think this is going to fulfill them, but it's not. All it's doing is going to fulfill in them the need that they have to be loved and validated from the outside. And I was desperately trying to get across, look, validate yourself from the inside. Because when you validate yourself from the inside, you don't need nobody else's validation outside. When you don't need nobody else's validation outside, you become fearless. You become fearless to do the things in life that you want to do because you have no fear of failure. And when all that kind of comes together, that's when you start looking at the bigger picture in life and start dreaming and desiring the things that you actually want, and not the things that you think you want, that's been placed in you by the logic of that other people have taught into you. I really hope that made a lot of sense to some of you, and it gives you some kind of scope as to how manifesting works. You have to get to know you first and what your actual beliefs are, what you like in life. And the only way you do that is by unlearning every single thing you have learned and then reprogramming yourself. If you like, you're a phone and you've had a load of apps downloaded into you, you now need to delete all those apps and put in the apps that you need, so that when you go to your phone, every single button, every single thing that you click is geared towards what it is that you would actually like to do and what it is that you actually love. And as all of this is going on, you will start to develop a deep, healthy love for yourself and respect for yourself. The more that goes on, the bigger the circle grows around you, the manifestation circle that is, and the more you will find these things just start coming into your life. And you have to be free of the busyness that the logic that has been taught into you would normally create. All that does normally is create blockages and barriers. This is why we must unlearn what we've learned, and then we are free to feel our beliefs and our true desires. And it's right there that when we're saying things like, I'd love to live a life out in the mountains on my own, if that's your true belief, if that's your true love, that will happen, because that will make you find a way to do it, because you'll be clear of other people's judgments, and your body and the way that your whole consciousness is will find a way for you to do that, and it will find a way for you to incorporate that into your life more. But let me tell you this little part as well. If you want to manifest things, that doesn't mean you can sit down, have true belief in it, but never act on it. It does require action. It requires some courage. Courage initially to unlearn what you've learned and trust in yourself. but it also will desire you to have courage to trust the feelings that you're getting. If your feelings that you're getting are saying, write a blog, then write the blog. Don't worry about if it's good or bad. Just start, get better as you go. This is the key to it. Unlearn everything you've learned. Take off the conditioning. Get to know yourself. Trust yourself. Feel the strength that you have as a human being that is capable of healing itself. And if you feel like you're feeling somber and down and you're grieving, just remember this. You probably are. You're grieving the person that you was. But let me tell you this little bit as well. Grieving is healing. You are healing. The longer you are grieving, the more you are healing. And if you remember that and you allow yourself to trust yourself in that consciousness that's all around you, we are all connected. We're all the same thing. You are not alone. You will find that you will slowly start to manifest things into your life. Anyway, I'm going to end it there. I hope that was helpful. I tried to keep that as short as possible. Little bit of a difference in tone and pace this morning. But again, guys, it's what my feeling was telling me this morning. I need to inject some passion into this one because it's a passionate thing. And so that's what I'm doing. So I'll release this and then you can see. To manifest, you have to take action. That's what this little up more tempo video for me is. The guy is still the same though. Anyway, it's a lovely day out here today. Much cooler than it was yesterday, which I'm really pleased about. So I'm going to go out, hopefully get my van fixed today as well. And then I can hit the mountains later on this afternoon or tomorrow morning. And do some video uploads up from there. Anyway, guys, I love every one of you. Hi to the new subscribers this week. And thank you for coming on board. And thank you to all the guys who comment. And also, guys, remember, I'm open to one-to-one coaching sessions or to just talk about your spiritual journey. Okay, love every one of you. Thank you, guys. Peace.